this video isn't meant to shit all over the Hobbit movies, because I actually do like The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey, and I really like The Desolation of Smaug, but the Battle of Five Armies, I watched it for the first time in 6 years last night since it was released in theaters, and it is the most pointless, like, cash grab of a movie. Just make a movie out of nothing. It's a 2-hour battle scene. A 2-hour animated CGI, green screen, the shit battle scene between 5 armies. What are the 5 armies? Well, 2 of the armies are orcs. There's 2 different orc armies because you can't name it The Hobbit and the Battle of the 4 Armies. There has to be 5, so it sounds cool and epic. So 2 of the armies are orcs, so it's really 4. You got the army of dwarves, led by the CGI, ridiculous cartoon-looking dwarf cousin of Thorin. You got the elves, who want some of that gold. The humans, the men, who are from Lake Town, they're fighting as well. Why is everyone fighting? I don't know. Sounds like something that could be solved easily. Much easier than a 5-army battle. It seems like it all happened within a day. Like, does this whole movie take place in a day? I like the beginning of the movie. I like when Smaug is flying and he's the big dragon, and it's sort of the continuation, like Desolation of Smaug. Desolation of Smaug has one of the most badass endings of, like, a movie. I fucking love the ending of Desolation of Smaug, because the dragon, Smaug, just, like, flies off and he's like, I am fire. I am death. And then Bilbo just looks out at Smaug flying towards Lake Town and says, what have we done? And it cuts to black. I think that's a beautiful cliffhanger. I love cliffhangers like that. People might have hated that ending. I thought it was awesome. It's such like a, ooh. You didn't even have to finish it. You didn't even have to see Battle of Five Armies. I would have liked to have seen if that's how it ended. They got the Mountain of Gold, but the dragon went and killed all the fucking people at the Lonely Mountain. I would have enjoyed that. But, Battle of Five Armies, we start out, and it's still Smaug, and I like all that. I like Smaug attacking Lake Town. That's pretty cool. And you got Bard standing off, facing off against the dragon with his, like, spear he's shooting it with. Although, one complaint I have about... Let me scoot closer. One complaint I have about these Hobbit movies is the lack of realism. Now, I know they're in a fantasy world with dragons and magic and all this stuff, but if you watch Lord of the Rings, the humans are still humans. Like, you know, they still, like, if they fall, it's gonna hurt them. If they fall 500 feet flat on their back, they're gonna die. But not in The Hobbit. If you watch An Unexpected Journey, there's a point where they're, like, underground, and there's, like, this weird, silly dwarf, and he's, like, telling jokes, and these dwarves are just, like, falling down this stuff and bouncing. They bounce. They could fall 100 feet, and they'll bounce off the thing like they're just fat, inflatable sacks of crap. And like in this movie, Bard's facing off against the dragon. Smaug crashes into the tower. Any normal human being would have died. But Bard is still alive. His son, of course, is just hanging on to the ledge like that. And Bard just snatches him up. Then they shoot the dragon. Dragon crashes into them. They just fall in the water. Of course they're alive. Nobody can die. You know, they're superhuman. Every one of these people are super Saiyan freaks. And what else is ridiculous in the movie? The fact that every character is CGI. The orcs look terrible. Like Azog. Like, if you've seen The Lord of the Rings, they used real people. They used real extras, real sets, real makeup, real, like, creature design and everything. Like, you remember, I don't know the names because Lord of the Rings names are hard to remember, but the orc that kills Boromir, that big badass red orc, that was a person with makeup on. So why are the orcs in the Hobbit movies all CGI? When in Lord of the Rings, which was made 10 years before the Hobbit movies, they were all real people. If they can make it look real 10 years ago, why 10 years later does it look like shit? Smaug looks good. I think Smaug looks awesome, but, like, why did Thorin's cousin need to be CGI? Why can't you just have a person in that role? I mean, it's a person. Why did you have to CGI the person? Why does everything need to be green screens and sets? I mean, like, they went to New Zealand for Lord of the Rings and, like, filmed all this stuff on real sets. I don't know if they also went for the Hobbit movies because I was too lazy to research, but, I mean, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they filmed all this on a green screen with no one there, but all animated characters. I mean, the CGI annoys me, the green screen annoys me, but also the thing that annoys me the most is that I don't know any of these characters. When I walk out of watching the Lord of the Rings movies, which I rewatched them recently, and they're incredible movies, I love them more than ever, I can tell you the names of everyone. I can tell you Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf, Saruman, Gollum, Smeagol, Eomer, Boromir, Faramir. Like, I can name these characters, which have crazy names, but I can name them. I can't tell you one of the dwarves' names. I know Bilbo's the Hobbit. I know Thorin. Then I think there's a Fili, a Kili, a Dwalin, a Thalin, a Balin, a Gollin, a Hollin. I don't know. Their names are ridiculous. I don't know any of the dwarf characters, and I can't put the names to the person. If you show me the names and the people, I couldn't put the names to the people because the characters suck. There's the old guy. Legolas is in this to like look kind of like a douche and kill people in cool ways. Bard looks like Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean, even though Legolas is Will Turner. I don't like that. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo has the ring for 3 movies, for about a year span, is the span that The Lord of the Rings take place over, and we see how deeply the ring corrupts him, and how much it turns him and twists him and makes him evil. But in the Hobbit movies, Bilbo has the ring the whole time, and he's using it more than Frodo was, and I feel like it has no effect on him. I forget he has the ring most of the times, unless they visibly show us that he has the ring, because there's no corruption, there's no anything being done to Bilbo, and there was so much being done to Frodo because of the ring. Like, after Smaug dies, I'm like, okay, this movie's going to be a 2-hour CGI battle of 4 armies, not 5, fighting for this mountain, and it's just going to be a bunch of CGI and green screen, and it's just visual noise. It's all just visual noise and nonsense. I like Desolation of Smaug. Unexpected Journey's fun. I like Unexpected Journey. I mean, it's kind of silly and stupid, and like the characters are invincible and stuff, but it's more fun. It feels like Fellowship. The reason I love Fellowship of the Ring so much is because it starts out with a party. Bilbo's 111th birthday. Gandalf is smoking weed. Bilbo's smoking. They're partying. They're dancing. It's just like a happier movie. And Unexpected Journey is just like a happier movie. All the dwarves are eating dinner. They're banging on the table. They got all this food going around. Gandalf is smoking and everything. Desolation of Smaug is like actually a pretty decent Middle-earth movie, and Battle of the Five Armies is just nonsense. It's funny, I'm looking at the poster right now and it says the defining chapter. Defining what? Bilbo and company are forced to engage in a war. They're not forced, Thorin forces them. They're not forced. Thorin is just stupid for like 30 minutes until he just magically snaps out of it. Forced to engage in a war against an array of combatants. Whoa, that's exciting. and keep Lonely Mountain from falling into the hands of a rising darkness. It wasn't falling into anyone's hands. The elves just wanted their share that they were owed. The men just wanted their share that they were owed. The men, the elves, and the dwarves could have all teamed up and kicked the shit out of the orcs, and there would have been no contest at all. The movie would have been done 50 minutes in, and it probably would have been good. I love Gandalf. I think Gandalf and Saruman should have been a couple. Because, like, if they were hanging and banging and, like, making out, it would have made the betrayal of Saruman to Gandalf in Fellowship of the Ring so much heavier. Because it's like, not only was this, like, my mentor, this was my lover. And now we're not. Goodbye.